In this video, I'm going to share some of my multimeters that I own, talk about how some of them fit into different points in my life, and yeah, I just thought that'd be interesting, so that's what I'm doing. This is the first multimeter I ever obtained. It's a Micronta, which would have been sold at Radio Shack. It's a model 22-221 analog, and I got this, a little over 20 years ago. My grandfather gave it to me. It belonged to his brother, and he was going through some of his things after his brother had passed away, and I knew what a multimeter was. I hadn't used one or owned one, but I saw it and was interested, and I kind of got excited, and my grandfather saw that and said, well, why don't you keep it? And so I did. I still have it, and yeah, I didn't really know a lot about electronics or what I was doing when I got this, but I did use it to like test batteries, check voltage on them, check continuity, just very basic things as I kind of learned how to do some very simple electrical troubleshooting. These are the leads that go to it. They've got like this pin connector. They're not a banana plug. I've had to repair them once. The solder joint inside one of these probes broke, and I repaired it later in life. But yeah, held on to this, and just kind of nostalgic now. So sometime, several years later, I really got serious I wanted to know more about electronics. I wanted to get good at soldering. I wanted to start feeling like I actually knew something because I was interested. And so I bought a soldering iron, some other tools and things, did some different kits, and I bought a multimeter, a better multimeter at that time, and this is what I bought. This is the Sparkfun. They call it basic multimeter. It's got a model number, but that doesn't matter. They call it the basic multimeter on their website. And it's a digital multimeter, manual ranging, so it was a big upgrade from the analog meter I had, and it has more functionality. If you buy one today, it comes in a white case instead of yellow because this color scheme is too similar to a certain other manufacturer's color scheme, and they got in trouble for that. But yeah, this was pretty much what I had for 5 or 6 years, and I built a number of projects with it. Used it to check voltage, current, things like that. I don't know how accurate it is per se, but it was accurate enough, sensitive enough for some of the hobbyist stuff I did, including building some headphone amp kits. So yeah, it's a nice little meter. Again, not one I really use so much. It's been sitting in a drawer. I might actually put it out in the garage just to have a meter out there handy. It's marked Cat 3, but yeah, it's got some small glass fuses. I would not really recommend using it on mains. The leads I've seen worse, but they're not that great, and they're not very standard either. It has these shielded banana plugs that they don't match like what you have on a Fluke, so you can't easily swap the leads, but it worked really well for me for several years. Honestly, it would probably be enough for doing hobby work, but yeah, I wanted to upgrade. I wanted something a little nicer, and I really wanted a Fluke because I worked in a factory and all the guys had Flukes, and that's what I saw. But I did a lot of research, and I got this as my next meter. This is an Amprobe AM-570, and this is a really great multimeter. This was kind of like, I really wanted a Fluke 87, but I wasn't going to spend the money on it, and I got this instead. But this is great. It's got, again, a little more features than the one before, the Sparkfun. It's auto ranging. It can, it did everything I needed and then some, and it's just well built. This is, one that I trust and is safe to use for checking mains and that kind of thing. And as I got to becoming a homeowner, that was important to me. So yeah, this was a great meter, and you got the dual display, which is nice. Yeah, really solid. You can still buy these. I used to have an AM-510 as well, which was a lower end model. It still had a lot. I had that one at work and used it there, so I don't have that anymore. It was at my old job, but I still had that Fluke bug So not long after I got this, I did buy my first Fluke, and that was this one. This is a Fluke 115. This is one of their import models, but a really uh, high-end and now very expensive. Cost a lot more now than it did when I bought this in, I think, 2016. But this is just a really solid electrician's meter. I like one-hand operation with it very easily. It just feels very solid, and yeah, I use this a lot as a homeowner for doing electrical work around the house. I also used this. I was doing some consulting work, a lot of IT work, but I was doing some low voltage stuff too. And yeah, if you're on a job and you want to look like you know what you're doing, especially around guys who know this stuff, you kind of want to have the Fluke. And so, yeah, be honest, it looked good in my toolbox. It looked, I felt like more of a pro with this than I did with my Amprobe, even though really the Amprobe's got a lot more to it and is a better meter for the same price. But yeah, I do love this meter. It's a great meter. Uh, so those served me pretty well for a lot of years. But then, okay, I buy another home, and my next home had some weird electrical issues and things. I needed a clamp meter. I needed to check the current going to a sump pump in my backyard because I have two pumps in the yard because we have so many drainage issues. And I just went up to Home Depot and found what did they have available, and they had this. This is a Klein CL120, and yeah, it's 2000 count. It's not anything real high end, but it's solidly built and well designed, and I like this meter. I got the magnet for it later on, which is handy. But yeah, one hand operation, very easy to do. The hold button's right here, which makes a lot of sense. It's easy to hit with your thumb. I'm left-handed, so I'm often actually doing this, but even then I can operate this left-handed fairly well. Display's easy to read. It's just a nice, simple clamp meter that, answers the questions I need to answer. How much current? How much voltage? Do I have continuity? Basic stuff. So this is usually in my tool bag. I take this with me when I'm doing different things. I was helping my mom with some electrical stuff not long ago and had this with me and was really glad I did. So yeah, that's my only clamp meter, but it's a good one for what I need. All right, so we're reaching the end. So I never quite could get over that Fluke bug, so I've got a few more Flukes. I tried some of these less expensive ones. This is the 107. It's a nice little meter. Kind of pricey, especially you can get other branded meters for the similar cost with a lot more features, but it's a nice little meter. And these are TL71 leads I've got on it because the 75s, they're the PVC, and I find when you wrap them around a small meter like this, then they just stay tangled, and yeah, I'm much easier to manage with the silicone leads. And I also ended up getting a 101 because I just could not resist getting the little Fluke 101 because, okay, it is pretty cool. And honestly, I like this more because it's a lot cheaper than the 107, and it does enough. It doesn't have current, and it doesn't have this or that. Okay, main things I'm usually checking: voltage, continuity. It does that. It does most of the things I'm going to do most of the time. It's a great second meter, backup meter, just something small to carry to do a basic. Just if I think I might need a meter. Yeah, I like this. This one I got the Pomona silicone leads because they were a little cheaper than the Fluke branded ones. And actually, I like the Pomona leads because the right angle plug is not so long. It's a little easier to wrap and manage. But anyways, yeah, these are nice little meters. But the 107, I don't know. I could probably live without. It's a nice meter. I just don't really need it. All right, then most recently, I finally did it. and I got an 87.5. Yep, just had the opportunity, had the to get one, and I did, and I do not regret it. It is a really solid meter. It's a very expensive meter, yes, but very solid. And I have one. I trust it. It's a good meter. Really glad to have it. And yeah, I've got some. So this is going to get babied. It's not going to get thrown in toolboxes and dragged around. If I need to do like electrical stuff, I'm gonna grab this. This was like $50. This is for electronics projects, for stuff at home. It's not going to get beat up. So I've got these Probe Master probes on it, which are very nice. So yeah, pretty much got it for electronics work, but that's it. Those are my main meters. I got some other ones around, some kind of junk ones that you just, no names that I throw in the truck or something just to have one around. But these are the ones I really care about and that I use or keep for, they mean something, that kind of thing. So yeah, just thought it'd be fun to do a video showing them all while I had them all nearby. And now I'm going to put them all back where they belong. So hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.